Okay, welcome everyone, and welcome Sarah, and thank you
So,
again for
you're
being.
welcome.
So, Sarah has, like other of our past clients, you might have seen their videos as well. Sarah's offered to come and share a little bit about what it's been like working with Lisa and I. And before she does, I just wanted to invite you. Today is actually the last day for the early bird bonus. So if you've been considering joining us in Mother Rising, I will stick a link to the page all about it on this video, and check it out and come and join us. Definitely for you if you want to become way more empowered in parenting, like parent from a place of a lot of self-connection, so you're really connected to your own truth and to yourself, to your own, like all the different parts of you, not just the wise parts, but also all those parts that are asking for healing. Like, so much of parenting begins in, and also parenting in a way where you're really kind of finding the gifts as well as the responsibilities, a whole different experience of motherhood. So come and join us if you're interested. And Sarah, I'd love to hear from you firstly. What I'm sometimes looking at your video and sometimes looking at the little green dot. So I'm looking at your eyes, but not actually at the camera. So I'd love to know, what had you choose to work with Lisa and I?
I first came to work with Lisa actually, and that was I was a very new mum, and I was trying to find a balance between my work life and my mothering life. Still often trying to find that balance, but that was why I came to Lisa. Pretty just knowing that there had to be a better, easier way to do things than the constant it's sort of like being on the rack, pulled between the two things. So yeah, looking for peace around mothering and work life and life in general. And yeah, I stayed for a really long time because it's been a few years now. So yeah, and I guess it's that thing that you and Lisa always talk about, that spiraling around, how sometimes it feels like not this again, that same thing again, but it's not that same thing again, because there's always approaching it from a deeper level or a different level. So yeah.
Yeah, yay, beautiful. And well, you can share about the whole experience, all the years, and also the last year in womb space. But when you did start working with us, what was your experience of it, or at least some of it?
Yeah, I'll aim for some of it, because it's a big that's a big experience. My experience of womb space was a really profound, amazing experience. I'm not a fan of group work. I came reluctantly to a group. I say group work, and that it's not group work. It's so different, and that's what I came to realise through the course of being a part of womb space. Yeah, I think what really stands out about that group sisterhood experience to me is that feeling of being held unconditionally by my sisters, by you and by Lisa and by the other women in the circle. And it's one of those experiences that it's hard to describe because it's something that you have to live. It's something that you have to be in and feel to understand just how incredibly potent that work is for whatever you're bringing. That it's sort of it's. Sorry, I don't know if you can hear my elephants upstairs. They're really, really distracting. My daughter's upstairs running around with her cousin. They. There's something that happens in circle with other women that just, it's like a sort of an alchemic process, I suppose, in that whatever I thought it was that I was bringing, or that I was that I thought was the issue, was changed by just the presence of the other women. And it may not have been that I even needed to voice whatever it was, just to bring that into that space. It changes things on another level, on a subtle level, which is really so interesting to me and so powerful, because I like to articulate things. I like to say things, I like to write them down and see them there in black and white. And this is something that's just happening, rippling under the surface, and working its magic without even being voiced necessarily. I don't know if that sounds really sort of woo-woo, but that's the experience of room space for me. Was that amplification through sisterhood, and also knowing that when there was something to be brought, to be spoken and said, that anything was okay. It still blows my mind that sort of unconditional love and acceptance can exist like that, across technology. Like, it's we're on the phone for most of these things, and yet I can feel all the other women on the call, and I can feel the space being held. And I think that's because of the container that you and Lisa create, and how strongly you hold that, and inviting us to be part of that, and learning how to do that as well. It's just really amazing.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, and even though in Mother Rising there's more women, like, it's a larger container, like something we're really committed to holding there. Like, we want to see how far we can hold such a strong, powerful space.
I'm really confident that you can hold a pretty big one.
So, how did it all support your parenting and your experience of relationships in general?
By supporting me, and teaching me to support myself as well, which is I never realised what a huge part of parenting that needed to be. I suppose I fell into the trap that so many women do, thinking that the success, the measure of success of my parenting is going to be how much of myself I can pour out into my daughter and into my relationship. But it's not. It's it's that old saying, I guess, you can't fill from an empty vessel. So it's been about teaching me how to fill myself up and stay full, so that I can share that, and not the things that I thought that I would need to fill me up, like I'm probably as time poor as the next person, but it doesn't have to be these big things that you need to set aside blocks of time to do to feel topped up. It's things that you can do in the moment, every moment. It's just little choices about how you're moving through the moments. I had I'd like to actually share a little example from this morning that just it always surprises me when things like these happen, and I think that it had to happen this morning because this is happening. But yeah, my daughter has her cousin over to play today, and her cousin it got upset about something and sort of and moved off to another room and was looking very sad, and we went to check on her, and Em said to me, "Mommy, maybe do that thing that you do with me, because that might help her feel better." And that thing that we do is that thing that you and Lisa taught us to do, which is that feeling your feelings, that sort of really dropping into them, and like, where is it in your body? If it had a color, what would that be? How is it shaped? How does it feel? Those sorts of things. And she said to her cousin, she says, "My mum says that all a big feeling wants is to be felt, and then it can move on."
Oh, wow.
Oh my gosh. It was one of those moments that I thought, oh wow, thank goodness. Because, even 12 months ago, I didn't know how to feel my feelings. It didn't occur to me that I wasn't feeling my feelings. And for Em to have that at 4, well, she's a little ahead of where I was. So that really gives me hope. And yeah, it's so worth it.
Wow. Thank you so much for sharing that. That's so beautiful.
Thank you for providing those tools.
It's a pleasure. So I think you've kind of answered some of the other questions, which is beautiful. Oh, I guess, are there any other tools that really stand out to you? Tools and practices and things that you like bring forwards into your everyday life?
Yeah, I think probably the embodiment practices that are so important to me these days all started with womb space. And I can remember back to my first womb space meditation, and I was so mad. I was mad. Because I'm trying to stuff myself down into this place that I've had no contact with my entire life, or the only contact that I've had with it hasn't been pleasant contact. And to know now, after it has been years of working with this stuff, to be able to drop down into womb space, it's so foundational to all the other moment-to-moment practices and things that are constantly bringing me back to my body, which is, I think the only way to navigate through life for me now. It's just so important. So yeah, the womb space, I loved any and all of the meditations. And tracking was a big one for me as well. Just working out what's going on in my body, and parts work for sure. Just learning that there's different parts of me that have different opinions on different aspects of my life, and learning how to actually get into dialogue with them, rather than letting them sort of just run the show. Being able to have counsel with them and see where we all want to go. Yeah.
The whole self. Yay. Oh. So what would you say, whatever bubbles up, to someone considering joining us, considering coming into Mother Rising Sisterhood, but not really sure?
I think it's if they're here watching this to the end, listening to me waffle on, I think they already know the answer. They're meant to be here, and don't second guess that. Just go with that gut feeling, that intuition. We ignore it too many times to our own detriment, and just go, just say yes.
Beautiful. Thank you so much for everything.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Oh, my pleasure. Is there anything else you'd love to share to feel complete for this little conversation?
No, I feel really complete. Thank you.
Yay.
Mm.
Well, thank you again. I'll just work out how to stop recording.